The bees won't attack you unless you disturb the hive or it's a windy day. And the temperament of the hive depends upon the queen. The queen sets the tone. Lindsey's always had a competitive spirit that's kind of hid underneath a veneer of coolness and calmness. It came to the fore every once in a while when we were either doing wrestling matches or when he was sent in as a backup quarterback in the high school football games.
And here's actually a labeled photo of Senator Graham engaged in a wrestling match his senior year. And looks like Senator Graham number 3 on the football team that same year.
I was Lindsey's high school football coach. Lindsey was hell for extra points.
And there were a couple of times when he would challenge the coaches on a couple of things. I think I told you about the handball incident where he would goad the coach into playing handball best 2 out of 3, saying, I can beat you, talking up a pretty good game.
He told one of our coaches not too long ago, he said, you're the only thing that kept me out of the NFL. He wasn't big, he was only 120, I think. He was real popular among the other boys.
Growing up, I knew Lindsey as a kid. He lived up the street from us, and every day his babysitter would bring him down by the house and drop him off, and we'd just play marbles. And he got to be pretty good at playing marbles, so he did good at that. But the bad thing is, at the end of the day, we'd send him home without his marbles. But like I said, if I knew where he was going to be today, I'd have treated him a little better, let him want a little more.
They spelled it back then C-E-N-T-R-E, Central. And I'm not sure when it was changed to Central. When Central was formed, it was a railroad town. It had all the big to do with the railroad, and the railroad then decided to move it to Greenville. And when they did, it was really sad because the town didn't know what they were going to do for a living, and that's when the mill was formed, and it really built the town back up.
You said you knew Senator Graham when he was a little boy. Tell me a little bit about that.
I can remember seeing him where his dad and mother had a store at the end of the street, and I can see him coming out and walking up and down the road here.
We're over at the Villa Toscana on Main, and this used to be the boyhood home of Senator Lindsey Graham. What we're going to do now is that he's going to probably announce that he's going to run for presidency. We're going to actually make the presidential burger. So Villa Toscana really is in honor of Senator Lindsey Graham and what he has done over here at this home and grew up.
As a commander-in-chief, I think the number one duty is to make sure that we defend the country and its citizens. That's paramount above everything else. I've only seen Lindsey cry once, and I've been with him. I was with him right after his father passed away. And the only time I've seen him cry was at this memorial ceremony that I had last March, where we called the names of those 96 servicemen and women that paid the ultimate price from South Carolina, and those that sadly survived the war but not its aftermath and were victims of suicide. Lindsey's pretty stoic, but tears were streaming down his face during that memorial ceremony. The second duty in terms of its military is to ensure that that military stays well connected and the public stays well connected with the U.S. military. 99% of the sacrifices made are made by less than 1% of the people in uniform. And we need to make sure that there is a way that we keep and we strengthen that connection. And I think Lindsey has the skill, knowledge, attitude, talent, experience, and the doggedness to make sure that that happens.